Hello, my name is Doa'a Al-hinty. I'm from Jordan. I'm a fashion and product designer with biological background. I have Mudassah for fashion and Dosam for biomaterial and digital fabrication. I'm so happy to share my project today, Recoded Tatreez, a story of thousand stories. Actually, what I'm presenting today is a clothing collection, 3D printed, built piece by piece, not only to be worn, but to explore how a fashion can carry meaning and a story and beliefs. I'm from Jordan with Palestinian roots from a village called Al Abbasiyah in Java district in Palestine. Unfortunately, this village has not existed since Nakba in 1948. As we can see here, Palestinian women, especially in villages, wearing a traditional thobe a traditional dress called thobe. And each village has its own well hand embroidered decorations called Tatreez, which is registered in UNESCO in 2021. I started looking for my village thobe since more than 10 years, but unfortunately, I couldn't find any original thobe or a picture for our thobe, even in books. So during my research, I found many reasons for loss of thobes, and I summarized the most important ones here in this slide. So from this point, the idea of Recoded Tatreez come to my mind because Recoded Tatreez is a project telling a story of a thousands of stories in Palestine.
She moves forward calmly, carrying history with strength. Her name is Palestine. In the beginning, her thobe reflects a stable life, rooted in land, memory, and continuity. Under occupation, her thobe becomes heavier, broken, and never fully free. But she remains standing. When freedom comes, her thobe will move freely, no longer holding pain, only life. Three thobes tell one story. What was never erased is allowed to continue, not to unchanged, but alive.
So the first collection of Recorded Tatreez will contain three thobes. The first one will be Asl thobe. Asl means origin. This thobe will be kind of copy of original thobes. So I choose the Java area to inspire the thobe from these thobes. And here we can see some of the samples and the motifs of these thobes and the color palette of the thobe. The second one will be Shahid Thob. Shahid means witness. This thob will telling what's happened during the occupation era. And here we can see, including what's happened in Gaza in the last 2 years. And here we can see the inspiration of the thob. And actually, this pattern I've already generated from cactus and barbed wires. And here also the color palette of the thobe. The third one will be Yaqeen thobe. Yaqeen means certainty, and this thobe is talking about the certainty of that Palestine will be free soon. This thobe will be a mixture between the original samples and new generated samples. Here we can see an original thobe, and this one is an imagined from AI thobe. Here we can see some of the samples and the color palette for the thobe. Also, there is an accessories. There is a headpieces and belts. There is lots of designs for headpieces in Palestine, but I choose to inspire from these two, something similar to these two headpieces. And for the belts, actually, women in Palestine usually fold a piece of fabric and put it around their waist. Now there's lots of belts designs according to the motifs, according to the design of the thobe. And here we can see that there is ladies doesn't put a belts already. During the last 1.5 months, I spent this time to experimenting how can I make tatreez on using 3D printers. And here a little bit of the result of the experiment that I got during this time. And at the same time, I experimented also about the bioleather, which I will use for the belts and the headpieces. Also, now prepare the fabrics, and next week I'll start with the patterns, cutting the patterns. Here we can see the samples I already generated, and a slicing of a piece that tested before. And here is a piece that I tested with the printing. And here we can see how it's looked like on the after stitching on the fabric. Actually, it's a chest panel of one of the thobes. This one, we made some editing on the units, so now it's ready for printing next week. Um, uh, in the next month, I will start to choose a place for photo shooting and video. So there is lots of places in Amman that I can. It's similar to the villages in Palestine, so I can choose one of them. I'm looking for also for a model. During that time, I started. Uh, um, Conversation with the UI UX designer to build a website for the Recoded Tatreez, and also start to think how can I make a launch for this collection, especially because I want to merge it with the community of Tatreez in Amman and West Bank. Contacted many ladies in Amman and West Bank who's working in Tatreez, and also who's working on collecting the original traditional thobes. So it's very important to merge this project with this community. So that's why I want to prepare a launching for this collection. And that's it for now. Thank you so much. And if there is any question, I'll be happy to answer it.
Wonderful.